Ballot papers, allegations of vote irregularities and a conflict that's denied hundreds of thousands of people their right to vote. Abiy Ahmed has described the poll as Ethiopia's first attempt at free and fair elections. Major opposition parties have boycotted Monday's election, while some who remain in the fray say ballot boxes were tampered with and their staff were attacked. From Addis Ababa, Mohammed Adow reports.
There were long queues of voters in most polling centers in several cities across Ethiopia, including in the capital Addis Ababa. Some of the voters started queuing as early as 4 a.m. local time. The Electoral Commission had increased the number of polling stations across the country to avoid large crowds from gathering at polling centers, to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19, but also to hasten the voting process. It is the first electoral test for 44-year-old Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who rose to power in 2018, championing a democratic revival in Africa's second most populous country and a break from its authoritarian past.
Things are calm and orderly so far, but I just wish the process was a little faster than it is. We hope this election will bring peace and unity.
More than anything, I will vote for a party which I think will bring peace to our country, and I have finalized my decision on who to vote for.
There were delays in some polling stations though. The Ethiopian National Electoral Board says about a dozen polling stations opened late due to officials arriving late. Voting was extended in some polling stations to allow voters cast their ballots. The Prime Minister's newly formed Prosperity Party is the front-runner by a considerable margin in a crowded field of candidates, mostly from smaller, ethnically based parties. More than 40 parties have fielded candidates, but most are regionally based. Some opposition parties are boycotting the vote. In the battleground state of Oromia, opposition parties have boycotted the election, citing intimidation and imprisonment of some of their leaders and supporters. Some opposition leaders have, however, endorsed the process, calling it somewhat credible.
My expectation is that it would hopefully, with minor difficulties, would be completed in a credible way. That's what we are hoping, that's what we are watching very closely. Up to now, the turnout seems to be good. People are out in big numbers to vote. That's a good thing, that's a good sign.
Despite being billed as a nationwide contest, Ethiopia's elections are not taking place in 1/5 of the country's 547 constituencies. Elections in the Somali and Harar regions of eastern Ethiopia were postponed until September for what the Electoral Board called logistical reasons. Elections are also not taking place in the Tigray region of northern Ethiopia. Most of the delayed votes are scheduled for 6 September, but no date has been set yet for a vote in Tigray. The polls are being monitored by observers from the African Union as well as a number of Ethiopian groups. But the European Union did not send a team blaming Ethiopia for failing to guarantee the independence of its mission. Once the votes are counted, national MPs will elect the Prime Minister, who is head of government, as well as the President, a largely ceremonial role. Mohammed, Al Jazeera, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.